Hello everybody, I'm Dan. Welcome to my Java tutorial series. Throughout my tutorials, I'll teach you Java using just Notepad and the command prompt. The order in which my tutorials are organized on both my website at java.util.regex and my YouTube playlist is designed to maximize learning by building on concepts from prior tutorials. This tutorial is an introduction to regex, which is short for regular expressions. I'm going to open up my web browser to my website, java.util.regex, and then click on the begin button. And then I'm going to scroll all the way down here when this loads up to the regular expression regex introduction. Regular expressions, or regex for short, are used to provide a shorthand way of searching, formatting, or editing character data. Now the syntax used in regular expressions is somewhat cryptic at first, but you will soon get the hang of how it all works. The easiest way to learn how to use regex is to jump right into it with some simple examples. Now the java.util.regex package contains various regex classes, but the most commonly used ones are pattern and matcher. And I will give you a brief overview of both of these classes and how they work in conjunction. So the pattern class we use that to create a pattern object. And a pattern object is basically a compiled representation of a regex string literal. And don't worry about that. You don't know what that is yet. But we use the .compile method to create the pattern object. Now let's say we want to search for all occurrences of the words mop or top in this string literal right here, right? The top of the mop is called a handle. We could simply use the index of method in the string class and check for a return value of greater than -1. That'll work just fine. However, let's demonstrate doing the same thing with regex. Okay, so we creating this pattern reference variable p, right, a pattern object type, and the compile method is a static method and it returns back a pattern object. So we just invoke pattern.compile and we pass it the regex here. Okay. Now the MT, right, inside of the brackets is regex syntax. I won't go into too much detail in the introduction, but our regular expression is basically saying that we are specifying either mop or top, hence the M and the T inside of the brackets, and then followed by OP. So we're searching for either mop or top. Both of them actually, and that should be. But anyway, so let's go to the matcher class, talk a little bit about the matcher class here. Now we use the matcher class methods to perform various operations on a character sequence like a string instance, for example, or string builder or whatever, But there are a bunch of methods in the matcher class. But for this tutorial, we're just going to use the find, group, and start methods. We create a matcher object by invoking the matcher method on our pattern object, okay? So up here we have a reference variable p pointing to our new pattern object. So now we're going to do a reference variable m, which is a matcher type, and we're going to invoke p.matcher, right, the matcher class, and then pass it this string literal. The top of the mop is called a handle. Now that we have our matcher object, we can invoke the find method to locate the subsequence that matches the regex pattern. And the regex pattern, of course, is up here, right? We're searching for mop and top. Now the find method returns a Boolean value that I'm going to use. I'm going to use that method return value to control iterations in a while statement, right? So while m.find, right? Okay. Now let's display what words were found by invoking the group method, okay? So I'm adding this to my while loop. So while we keep finding in our matcher object there, we're just going to display found plus invoking the group method, which will return back top, and then it'll return back mop. Now let's build on that a little more by displaying the index at which each search expression was found by using the start method. Okay, the start's another method, one of the many methods of the matcher class. There's a whole bunch of them. But we're looping through our matcher object, and we're going to find basically top at index number 4, and then we're going to find mop at index number 15. All right, let's go ahead and come down here and highlight this source code right here. Control-C to copy, or right-click and select copy. I'm going to move my browser off screen. I've got a shortcut to the command prompt on my desktop, but if you don't, you can create one really fast by right-clicking, selecting New Shortcut, CMD, Next, and Finish. It's just that easy. First thing we'll do is open this up. We'll type in java-c, which is a Java compiler command. You should see all this stuff scroll by. If you receive an error message, watch my tutorial on installing and configuring the Java development kit. want to make sure you get that installed and configured before continuing. CLS to clear the screen. CD space / CD short for change directory / tells it to go to the root. I'm going to make a directory here called Java using the MD command. I already have that folder, but if you don't, it'll create it for you. Change directories to the Java. And I'm going to make another directory here called regex intro. Change directories to the regex intro folder. And then I'm going to notepad regex intro.java. Okay. Regex intro.java is the name of my source code file, also known as my compilation unit there, or compilation unit. All right, let's go ahead and Control V to paste that in, or right click and select paste. All right, so all in all, it's gonna be a fairly simple one. I'm importing the java.util.regex package. That's where everything's located. And I've got my main method entry point right here. So I've just got this search me string that I'm initializing to the string literal, right? The top of the mop is called a handle. And the first thing I'm demonstrating in these next two statements is we can just, display the, the index of it right here using the index of, right? So just fairly simple. If you've been following my tutorials, we went over string class and index of a long time ago there. And now I'm going to show you how to do the exact same thing. So pattern p equals pattern.compile, right? And this is our regex syntax here. Inside of these brackets, we're searching for either an M or a T, and then followed by 2 characters, OP. Create our matcher object by invoking matcher object M, reference variable pointing to that matcher object, I should say, but invoking the matcher method off of the pattern object, right? And search me is our string up here. Basically, that'll create our matcher object. Now, once we have our matcher object created, we can now invoke, of course, the find method here, and it'll just loop through and display to the console, matcher found at the group, add index, and then start. So invoking group and start here. And then we'll display this to the line and ignore the rest of that. Let's go ahead and just come up here and save and compile this real quick. CLS to clear screen, Java C, plus regex intro.java, our Java file there, and Java to run it, regex intro, invoking that particular class there. So what we get is, first off the bat, string index of top 4, string index of mop 15. And then here's our matcher. Matcher found top at index 4, matcher found mop at index 15. You can see they do the same thing here, right? And you might be thinking, well, why would I even want to bother that? And, and you might be right. You can actually just use a lot of methods from the string builder class and various other classes to do manipulations of this sort there. But regex is a lot more powerful than that, and the syntax in it can be used across many different languages as well too. It's not just a Java thing. It's in quite a few languages. So regular expressions are supported all over the place. All right, let's come down here to this next thing that I've got going on here. I'll give you a kind of a little sample on, it definitely gets more into it than that, down here. Using the same pattern, but I'm applying that to a new pattern object now. And I've just got the lowercase l, and I'm searching for 2 of them right together, right? Because you can see if we come up here to our string literal, we've got these 2 L's right here, and then we got a single L over here, but I just want to, for this particular one, I just want to search for a double L, right? And so we can use this sort of syntax here. And I'll go into this syntax later on, and as well as this in future tutorials there. But anyway, so we create our new matcher object, and then we loop through there until we found that, right? So that basically returned matcher found, and these are lowercase L's, not 11s, not 1s, but at index 24. So as you can see, that's where it found them out. So that's the 24th and 25th character basically in the string there. So, or maybe it's the 25th and 26th. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's like the next one after that. But anyway, so that's basically how that works, and kind of a little quick introduction down and dirty to regex. Of course, the pattern compile will be the single most important thing you do with the pattern class there, right? And then the matcher is used quite often in the matcher class there as well, right? Well, the matcher method from the pattern class creates, or pattern.matcher creates a matcher object, hence the kind of the name there, the similarities anyway. So, but I'm going to go ahead and get this off screen, get that off screen. I'm going to leave you guys with just some quick final thoughts there. So My tutorials on regex will be mostly mixed throughout other tutorial topics. While they are a valuable tool to have in your arsenal, the things they can do can typically be done using various methods from other classes like string or string builder. Now, you will come across regex from time to time, and you should be familiar with the syntax so you can understand what's going on with other people's code, or code you've written before, obviously, too. So anyway, that concludes this tutorial. Thanks for watching.